Welcome to this brief overview of macros. So firstly, looking at the panel, where can we attach macros to? We can attach them to these buttons just above the main Mav units. I like to attach them to these two buttons over here beside the T-bar, and the main function pads here, you can attach them. You've got 4 buttons up here which are standard macros, and you can make these top 4 into other macros. So that gives you 8 pages you can access instantly. If you want to attach macros to any other button on the mixer, say the key buttons here, you have to have macro attach enabled on, and it's on this keypad, this Mav number pad. So macro attach enable on. If you look at the mixer, so basically in macro, we'll go down to filing systems, actually filing systems and macro. In my project, I can store 999 macros. So my project over here is project 80 AM program, and I can store 999. So if you think of your project as a master file, and in that master file, in the projects folder, I can store 999. I could also store gmems, dmems, button maps, switcher states, snapshots, and anything else in my master file of project 80. So projects are used on the Kahuna and the Kula mixers. So let's go to record a simple macro. I'll hit macro record, it's green. So it will go red once I start actually any action. So I'm just going to bring up this virtual panel. So I'm just going to go camera 1, camera 2, it's recording now, camera 3, camera 4, and camera 9. I'm going to go back and hit macro record here. And I'll tap that. And so, okay, I have an option to save it straight away, but I wouldn't do that because it'll take the real time. So I'm going to go over to edit macro. And so if I select edit macro, this is the real time of it. So I'm just going to tap that and turn it off. You'll see the real times that it's actually running at. So I'll turn that off. The first action will happen on 0 anyway. So I'm going to go to the second action. Over here, action delay. I'm going to just tap on that and tap 1, enter. So that'll make it 1. And what I'm going to do, what I like to do is go ripple to end, ripple action delay to end. So that every action will happen. You'll see 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So you can see that every action will happen then. Go to bitmap. I could select an icon like this, but I'm actually just going to clear it for the moment. And then I go to save, and let's go down to, say, number 60, and let's call it test, and hit enter there. So yeah, and we've got to hit save as well. So just think of it as a folder. So I'm recording that, and now I'm going to attach into project 80. And it's macro 60. I didn't give it a bitmap, so you can see it displays as macro 80/60, means it's in project 80, it's macro number 60. If I hit it, you'll see it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. Okay, so that's my macro, works fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and load the macro in to edit it. So in project 80, I select macro, I go to load, and I click on load here, and I go to 60, and I select load macro. Okay, so it's loaded. I'm not running anything yet. If I go to edit, I can see my macro there, and the way the macro displays is ME4 background a cross point, and then you come down here and it says it's on 1, the value, camera 2, camera 3. So we're going to go back up to the top one, and instead of camera 1, we're going to change that value. So go over here to edit value, and we're going to say, in fact, what we want to do is call it camera 7 instead. We're going to start with camera 7. So that's now going to do 7. It's still in workspace. I haven't saved it yet. I could also edit my delegates. I could change it to a different ME or a different background. This time, I could also go in and actually say, well, actually, I want to delete an action. So if I select action delete, you can see it's still there, but until I've actually saved it, it's not going to delete it fully. It just means it's not going to refer to it or use it. This time I am going to grab an icon. I'll just put this icon, and I'm going to select quick text. I like to shift it, and maybe I'll call it test and hit apply. Usually I put 4 letters in. Then I'm going to go to save. Now, I'm actually going to save it into another bit, 62 save. We'll call it test 2 and hit enter. And then I've got to save. So that's now in 62. And I'm going to attach it. So we'll go back down to our virtual mixer. And we're going to go here. And we're going to hit the macro. And you'll see it'll go 7, 1, 3, 5, 9. And that is simple thing on macros.